My name is Anna, and I'm studying bioengineering at the college. I'm mostly involved with engineering groups, student government, and just the IOP here. I'm motivated by the prospect of being able to make the world a better place.
I'm Jared Cohen. I'm a sophomore here at Harvard College. I study economics, and I'm involved in a lot of the organizations on campus more geared towards finance, like HVAC, VFG. Those are the big finance clubs on campus. I also co-founded an impact investing club and kind of getting that off the ground and running, and it's been a lot of fun. And that's really got me very involved in the finance industry and was pushing me towards what I want to do in the future. What inspires me? I really enjoy this question. I always like when people ask me that because there are a lot of underlying things that really inspire me. But I think the main thing that inspires me in life and propels me in life and where I want to keep going is just creating change and creating something good in this world. I think that's whatever I do in life, I want to do something that will impact the world in a positive way. So that's something that I'm really striving to do, and something that will always continue to be a big part of who I am and what I want to be in the future as well.
Hi guys, my name is Matthew Capucci. I'm a special concentrator in atmospheric sciences, the first and only ever right here. And yeah, we're in the roof of Harvard Science Center. It is beautiful up here, tons and tons of stuff to see. One of my happy places and one of the reasons why I do the special concentration. So many people have asked, why do a special concentration? The reason being, no 2 days in the world of meteorology are the same. Every single day is different, and that's the reason why I love the field. But why Harvard? There are so many schools out there that have meteorology, and the reason I chose Harvard, we have everything we need, we just don't really have it together. So some classes I take here, some over at MIT, just down the river over there. And the reason I take it, I'm really hoping that sometime, as soon as I graduate Harvard, there'll be a path left behind for others to take atmospheric sciences, and I really hope someday this becomes an actual department for everybody to take advantage of.
Hi, I'm Raphael. I'm a sophomore at Harvard. I'm in Kirkland House, and I do CS here. So there's a whole bunch of activities I'm involved in. I was part of the Digital Literacy Project, which teaches middle schoolers computer science. I was part of Heck Harvard, which organizes a very large programming competition once a year, and we take students from all over the country, and they just try to make cool things. And I'm also part of things that aren't related to the school, more startup-like things. One of which that I'm working on right now is called Summer Playbook. Over the summer, if you're trying to see other students around you, you can go on Summer Playbook and you can see there's Nancy, she's 7 miles away from me, I'm all alone, maybe I'll reach out to her, we can get coffee. So what motivates me? It's a pretty complicated question, and it's something I sort of ask myself every day so that I know where I'm going. I guess there's the question of, in the first place, why was I interested in computer science? I think it started from a very early age. I think my family's first computer came around when I was 7, and I was hooked pretty quickly. I would spend all my time on it. I played lots of games, whether Neopets or RuneScape, and I started trying to see how I could game them. I remember my first experience with code was downloading and messing around with a RuneScape bot so that I could mine things. And then from there it went on to me messing around with Flash games, trying to see how high of a score I could get. I remember there was a clone of Restaurant City that I managed to become top of the leaderboard on because I found sort of a hack in it and changed my cash to 9,999. And I don't know, there was that whole fun side of breaking things. And I also always found it interesting, the opposite side of making things. All of my initial endeavors into programming were with games and visualizations. I remember the first big program I made, probably the second and the third and the fourth were all games. Even most recently I had a game that I released for Harvard Housing Day where you shoot mumps-infected zombies and try to get to Kirkland House. Yeah, so there was a lot of games, a lot of breaking things, but I'd say today, the motivations might not be the same. There's a lot of questions of, if I keep doing only CS, if my classes are all CS, will I always be working under someone? How do I make sure that what I'm working on is my own? There's a lot of tough questions, and I think it's shared by a lot of the Harvard CS community. I also think there's a big mix of, maybe more so at Harvard than at other schools, CS majors that are interested in things that normally don't mix with CS. So my mind in CS and a CS mind in general is very rational. You have to think a lot about the facts, the logic, like step-by-step sequences. But then I also really like making, I like aesthetics. I like making things that a lot of that is more irrational. I think film is really cool, but like how would you actually like put CS and film together? I think that's something that's like more possible to do at Harvard than at other schools.
My name is Luke Haney. I'm a current half junior, half senior at Harvard University. The reason why it's not a discrete category is I took time off midway. I study sociology and computer science. Within sociology, I do organizational behavior because I think where people find meaning in their work and fulfillment in their life is really interesting. I actually historically wanted to be a priest, and then I discovered women. I discovered very quickly that the life of celibacy wasn't for me. At Harvard, I've had a bit of a non-linear path. So while I do school-sponsored clubs such as peer advising and also like leading freshman orientation programs, I also of the mind that it's a lot faster to build or bring your own ladder as opposed to climb someone else's. So while at Harvard, I've spent a lot of time building new things and trying new things and creating new things. So for one, I run Summer Playbook, which is one of the biggest web apps in the Ivy League. I made it my freshman year without having any coding experience. I started out with a spreadsheet and a Google form and a lot of hustle. Basically what that program does is it shows where students are all over the world during the summer. So it's using 126 programs, a couple thousand kids use it. We're scaling it this year. I also run Fair Opportunity Project, which sends free college application advice to almost every public school in the US, just won Forbes 30 under 30, and we are now looking for funding from large nonprofits. And then I also run a research lab, which is called LEAD, so Lab for Entrepreneurship and Development, which basically looks into how do you create value, how do you create higher value sectors. The intention with that is I'm from a rural area of northern Minnesota, a place where not a lot of kids went to Harvard or even thought about going to Harvard. And the idea there is if we can understand how to create opportunity, long run, we can go back to these areas and do a lot of good for a lot of people, because to whom much is given, much is expected. So I feel very fortunate to be here. That's a little bit about me. I think what drives that and what drives that initiative is just that understanding. How lucky I am to be in a situation of such privilege. How if I were to roll this dice 99 times again, it probably wouldn't come up. I wouldn't be sitting here with an unloosened tie. I'd probably be working a job right now. So in that, I think that having been given this opportunity, it's important to actualize on it. It's important to do something with it. And for me at least, I'm of an existential mind that a lot, like life, it's kind of random, and I think that sometimes there doesn't seem a point. And in that, I think it's important to find meaning for yourself. And the way that I find meaning is creating opportunity for others. I love creating, I love building things, I love art, I love sculpting, I love this. But I think there's nothing more satisfying than giving someone else a tool in which they can create something themselves that's meaningful to them. So I think that is what drives me and what inspires me and what gets me excited in the morning and what leaves me looking for ways to create situations and environments where we can do that for others. And in the past, again, it's been Summer Playbook, Fair Opportunity Project, and research. And I hope to continue doing it. And I hope that I can say that I've done it successfully.
Hi, my name is Juan Carlos. I'm a sophomore at the college. I study government, but my main focus is really on business. I'm a firm believer that in the next 10 years or so, the majority of retail sales will be online. While I've certainly had some projects that have taken off and others that have not taken off, what I've realized throughout all of these projects, and really in anything in life, is that you owe it to yourself to be great at whatever you pursue in life. I believe that the best way to do this is consistency. I heard someone say the other day, people start showing up for you when you start showing up for yourself. If my time as an undergrad has taught me anything at all, is that life isn't going to hand anything over to you for free. You have to work hard, you have to be willing to roll up your sleeves and put in the hard work each and every day. It's not going to happen overnight. If I had to say one thing, I would say that my motivation derives from helping other individuals achieve their goals. I feel like everyone wants to be great in this day and age, but not everyone wants to put in the work required to get to that point. What motivates me is that if I'm able to do something then I know I can tell the person next to me, look, if I was able to do it, then you can certainly do it, so you better get to work.
Oh, hello. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw, check out my other videos. If you don't, check out my other videos. Now, if you really like what you saw, click right here. Theoretically, there should be a subscribe button. Have a nice day.